So this is trail day number 79. It's Sunday, September 6th to 2020. And it's about 9:40 in the morning. Probably a half a mile from camp. It's been like a 4-lane superhighway out here this morning. Had a good night. Woke up about 7:30. And I'm hoping the next hut has hot food. So it's like 4 miles away. But as long as they got Snickers and beef jerky, I'll be happy. The terrain today is going to be nothing like what we've done the last few days. It's fairly level. Or downhill. So that'll be a nice break from all the climbing. But it's quite rocky at the moment. So we'll just see how it goes. There's a general store and campground like 14 miles away. If I can make it to there, that'd be great. Because they have showers and whatnot. So, but it is a Sunday before Labor Day, so if I can get self-service before I get there, I'll find out if they have a spot. I'm not going to just chance it and show up there. But there's the hut's next to a waterfall, so we got that. So yeah, we got the waterfall to see, and I think a couple other viewpoints. So whatever is there to see, whatever there is to see, we'll see it. So yeah, this is quite nice this morning. I almost wished I'd have kept going yesterday. If I'd have hiked another 2 hours at the rate the terrain is, I could have did another 4 miles. But that's alright. At least I had a good camp spot. I'll probably do something kind of similar today where start looking for a spot early. Since tomorrow is a holiday, people might be out. Well, people are out for a long weekend, so tonight might be the same way. Made it to the Alpine Zone. That's Garfield over there, Franconia over there. So we're about a mile from the Zealand Falls hut. It's kind of crazy. I've done almost as many miles in 2 hours as I did all day yesterday. rain tonight. Today has just been nice, flowy. But we've had some uphill to deal with. Looks like you're getting ready to build something. So that's the trail southbound, and this is the trail north. We'll be going downhill mostly until the hut. Then when I get there, I'm taking a break. I'll start thinking about where I'm going to go for the end of the day. Some nice clear water. I'm out of water, but I'm like 0.1 away from the hut, so I'll just get it there. And I had passed some hikers that said they are cooking food, so hopefully that'll be a score. Kind of a cool little pool. The water just, and it is ice cold too. .1 miles. And there should be a waterfall there too. So that'll be kind of cool. So I'm leaving the Zealand Falls hut. Hopefully we can see the falls here in just a minute. But they did have burritos. Well, not as good as the first hut. They didn't cook them here. They just had them like wrapped up so the cheese wasn't melted and the outside wasn't crispy with butter. But it was beans, cheese, and rice, just like the last one. I ate one here, got one to go. A couple more sticks of beef jerky. And will get downhill and it'll level out for a good while. I'm going to try to make it to the base of the presidential range. So we'll be going over the Washington in the next day or so is the plan. That's kind of cool. Not a very big waterfall, but another little view of the waterfall further down. So we're 7 miles from Crawford Notch, which is at the base of the presidential range. And if the trail stays like this, then we're golden. This is like the nicest, well, not as far as views, but this is like the nicest trail surface I've seen in New Hampshire. For some reason, my Osprey is being very squeaky at the moment. So there's a general store and a campground, and from Gut Hooks there's also a state park, Crawford Notch. And then there's a gas station. At some point somebody was saying you'll get a hitch to the gas station instead of resupplying at the general store. So and they said the general store campground you have to stay 2 nights. So I'm probably not gonna stay there. Although a day off before getting into the presidential range might be nice. We'll just evaluate all that later. A nice camp spot. But yeah, that'll be the goal for the day, is to get there to Crawford Notch. It's 2 o'clock, so we'll just see. You can't overthink it, I say. Looks like they crushed a mountain. Either that or the mountain fell down. Nice view anyway. I don't know, maybe I had an avalanche at some point. So this southbound, the hut is ready. You can see the roof. I can see the roof. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but it's a pretty good ways off. And it's just 2:30. Yeah, I don't think all this rock is naturally here. If this was where the railroad was at, the logging railroad, they probably blasted it all out to get a ledge to run the railroad tracks. That's a lot of rock to blast away though. A nice little footbridge stream. The woods. There's some steel cables there, but the wood on the bottom's like creosote, sort of like railroad ties. So who knows, they may have cut up some old railroad ties to make the bridge. So we're 5 miles. Leaving the forest protection area. So pretty much between the forest protection area signs, like when you leave it, since we're in the White Mountains National Forest, then you can disperse camp pretty much anywhere. I try to look for an established spot instead of making a new one like last night. But when you're in those protection areas, you can't camp. It's like there's a trail probably goes up to a spot. But 3 o'clock, with the terrain the way it is, it's way too early to be camping. That's kind of cool. Probably a nice little bathing hole right there. If it was August and not September. Oh yeah, and definitely deep enough to sit in. You'll be freezing to death today though. So I've been walking on a lot of these planks. When it's not planks, it's roots and rocks. But there's really no elevation, it's just all fairly flat. We should be coming up on the shelter campsite before long. I haven't had any cell service to call the campground or anything. In the state park at the highway you can camp at, but you have to do through Reserve America. Can't do that without cell service either, so. I'm just weighing a different option. So this is going south, so we just come down that, and this is north. We're about a half a mile from the road, so I came out to the parking area, and then you follow this paved road down to the highway. There was a couple of side trails to some waterfalls. One was like 0.4, so I'm assuming that's where most of these people are at that are parked down here. We're going to get to the highway, take a short break, and figure out the rest of the plan. It's almost 5:30, so. So I walked across the highway, found some trail magic. At first it looked like trash, but then I have no idea what that is. But I seen the unopened Pepsi can. So, Pepsi and Pringles. Sweet deal. I'll eat and drink this while I decide what I'm doing for the night. Well, I enjoyed the Pringles. The original is nice and salty. Packing out the Pepsi. I think it'll be good for breakfast. So Webster Cliffs, it's 1.9 miles, 1,700 foot in elevation. It's supposed to be good 10 spots. Probably where everybody else is at. I'm gonna get water up here at the river because this is the last water for 6 miles, so. So I'm gonna get water and start up the hill, I guess. And if I find a good spot, I'll go in. There's an awesome spot right there. but it's well within the quarter-mile of the road and it's in the park. So unfortunately, okay, so I drank a quart of water, filled up my 2-quart bottles, got 2 more liters in my bag. So just added like 8 or 9 pounds to my pack weight so I can climb up 2,000 foot. But it'll be alright. I had to be skimpy with the water last night, so. Once I don't have to cook anything tonight, I have the burrito for dinner, but I do need to catch up on some hydration, I believe, so. Maybe I can have a hot chocolate with a Snickers for breakfast. Alright, well, it's a few minutes after 6, so we better start climbing. Mount Webster. But I'll be looking for a stealth spot along the way. So according to Guthooks, we're 1.1 mile from Webster Cliff. It's 6:40. So at point 8 went by pretty quick. It was uphill, but it's been kind of like this, gradual. We only went 200 feet in elevation. We still got 1,200 to go in the next mile. What I'm looking for is the state park sign, which is probably non-existent. Because once I'm out of the park, I can pick a good set of trees and hang my hammock, as far as I know. There's tent sites at Webster Cliffs, but I don't know about hammock sites. I passed 2 guys that were ending their weekend. They said there were some spots, but they could have been talking about Webster Cliffs. But I know it's going to be getting too dark, so I'll just resume tomorrow, because we'll find a spot here in the next hour or so for sure. I just have to haul this extra water for the time being. I can't feel a pound or 2 one way or the other difference, but you drop like close to 10 pounds in the pack. You can tell that. But yeah, we're close enough. We'll call this day done before it gets too dark.